This is the YOB ConvoCast, one-on-one conversations with your other brother's authors, community members, supporters, and friends.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the YOB ConvoCast conversations with everyone in the world who loves YOB. I'm your host, Tom. I'm the director of Your Other Brothers, executive director of Your Other Family, and this is a tradition like no other. It goes back 5 years. I love bringing this person on at this time of year. There's just a certain energy in the air, a certain energy in the culture, in the sports world and pop culture alike. And I always love to just bring this person on to talk about sporty things, but also be silly and talk about other life things too occasionally. It's my brother and yours, my actual brother, younger brother, Andy. What's up, Andy?
Hello. How are you?
Welcome back. I'm so good, brother. How are you? I hear you've not been feeling well. How are you doing?
I got a touch of the bronchitis. That's
Do you actually?
Yeah, and a sinus infection. That's
Oh
what
my
I'm dealing
gosh.
with right now. So I'm going to be coughing and doing my best to
mute
find
yourself?
that mute button so I can.
Yeah, he's coughing now. This podcast, by the way, this ConvoCast is on video. My brother's been gracious to put it on video. He is hacking up a lung right now. I don't know if this is a dramatization, or if that was actually real. But if you want to watch this on YouTube, head over to our YouTube channel at Your Other Fam. You can watch this episode on YouTube. Andy, that was a massive performance. I hope you're okay.
I feel fine.
I also have a little touch of the runny nose. So it's just cold.
Oh
I'm not
boy.
sick, but it's just runny nose season, So we're not at 100%, but this is a metaphor for life. You don't have to be at 100% to show up, right? Here we are. We're showing
Yeah.
up. So thank you for being a trooper. Because we've done this. This is our 5th one. Happy 5th anniversary for this,
My goodness.
this podcast. Can you believe we've done 4 of these now, soon to be 5? Can you
Man,
believe?
what was the first one? What was the first one? Do you remember?
I do.
Let's hear it.
Here's what I was gonna do, because the tease for this episode is Andy, who is straight and married and has a child. He's been doing this for 5 years now. He comes on the show. He educates our mostly not straight audience to talk about the big game.
I feel like you guys just define me by my straightness.
No, we talk about other things too, and I'm gonna talk about your child in a second. But
oh yes,
but it's just part of the. The Super Bowl is a big part of American culture. It's around the world too. People outside of our country watch this game. And what happens often not all the time, but often in our community is they have no idea what's going on. Who are these teams? Who's playing? What's the history? What's the storyline? Who's performing at the halftime show? We need to know all the big important details. So that's where you come in every January, February, and we lay it all out there. So everyone's prepared a week in advance, and then they can have a more educated Super Bowl experience. It's been great.
And I love that. And I love that I have played some part in hopefully helping educate, encourage, direct some random individual out there towards a more polished and enjoyable Super Bowl viewing experience. That's why I'm here.
Polished.
That's what I'm good for on this show. Oh, we need someone to talk sports. Let's kick it over to our designated Your Other Brothers.
We do. We do have some sporty bros. We have some sporty bros, so we'll talk about them in a second. But
all right.
But yeah, so we got a big action-packed show. At the very end, Andy will give his prediction. And I will say, Andy, you are pretty good at your predictions. You're 3-1, and fair to say the reason you lost one is because you're a homer and you cheer for the Eagles, and you picked the Eagles the year that they lost. So you could have been 4-0 if you were more
robbed,
non-biased, but.
It was not pass interference.
But
okay, it was not holding.
We're not living in the past. We're not living
Sure.
in that Super Bowl.
Sure.
But
No,
no,
yeah.
your first one was the Bengals versus the Rams. And that was when we as a culture were introduced to the beautiful man that is Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow made his first appearance on my
one of my favorites.
radar. He's so cool.
He's awesome.
Every time he pops up on my TikTok, I'm like, he's at a press conference. I was like, oh, I got to see. What is he going to say? He's just got a charming way of interacting with the reporters. But hopefully Joe Burrow will find his way back into a Super Bowl scenario.
I hope so. He bought a Batmobile. Well, tried to anyway.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Before we get to all the football stuff, though, brother, like since you've last been on the show, well, you've had a child. I think you had a child before last year, right?
No, it was child. She's almost 1. So yeah, she was still in the womb at the time. So I was about to become a father.
You were about to become a father last time you were on the show. And let's not bury the lead. The Eagles did, in fact, win the Super Bowl last year. We didn't circle back with you about that.
Did.
How are you? So it's been a year of you having a child and the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. How has the last year been?
Oh, the best year of my life. Let's be clear. And so in addition to that, I do recall last year being on this show and predicting an Eagles blowout. And what happened?
They did blow out. Yeah. It was like a pretty convincing.
Crushed them. And so I came on. Sarah got me this for Christmas. This was immediately after that Super Bowl. I wore this on purpose. Immediately after that Super Bowl, there was an ad campaign about Jalen Hurts, the Eagles quarterback, and how he had been hated and doubted all throughout that playoff run. And this is his Jordan Brand, love Hurts. And I got to tell you, love Hurts. I love him.
Love Hurts.
And it does hurt right now. It hurts that the Eagles aren't in it, and that's a little bit of a bummer. But that's okay. I'll manage.
They
I'll manage.
They didn't look too great in their one playoff game. But in any case,
but becoming a father far surpasses all of that.
Yes, I was going to say becoming a father.
Yeah, that's been that's been so great, such a blessing.
Remember on our last episode, we were guessing baby names. It's all coming back to me now. We were guessing baby names. I wanted Zendaya. I wanted a little Zendaya Zuniga, but
you were close.
But you don't have to reveal your child's name if you're trying to protect your child's privacy. But it was not, in fact, Zendaya.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not Zendaya. It wasn't.
Or Zoe. I was trying to think of Zoe.
Yeah, you were thinking of Z names. That's what it was.
I wanted a triple Z.
Some people were throwing out biblical names. Anyways, little Sadie was born in March of last year.
You didn't want to.
So she's going on 11 months old right now.
You didn't want to go with Gomer?
No Gomer. Nope.
The prostitute that Hosea pursued?
No.
What a beautiful biblical name that would have been. Oh, well.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Little Gomer.
What are you going to do? Maybe next time.
Well, that's great. Sadie, yeah. And like, we don't need to spend too much time on this, but like your child had pneumonia or something. Like, what was going on with your little child? Is she okay? Is my niece okay?
She has, without exaggeration, been sick nonstop since Thanksgiving. And as a result of that,
like 3 months?
She has not slept since Thanksgiving, which means I have not slept since Thanksgiving, which means when she gets pneumonia that develops into bronchiolitis, sometimes, things happen and...
He's coughing. He's coughing again, y'all. Get it out.
And, they get passed on to the father. Sometimes, usually, it's sins of the father that get passed on to the child. In some instances, when they're young, it is illness of the child gets passed on to the father. And that is what I've dealt with for both myself and my daughter for the last 3 months. Meanwhile, my wife, who is a former teacher, has an immune system that is a steel trap. And she just, keeps living her life like, oh, I've got a little tickle in my throat. Like, oh, here it comes. And the next day she's like, I feel fine.
The tickle has been evaded.
That's it. It's all over. So, yeah. But she's doing okay right now. I think I'm the only one in the house who's sick at the moment. She has a little bit of a cough, but for the most part, she's doing all right.
The joys of fatherhood, I'm sure you'll look back on these years, though, with a twinkle in your eye and be like, oh, I wish I could go back to having bronchiolitis with my little baby. And now she's a college student dating a long-haired man with tattoos and a questionable background.
Maybe,
You wish you could go back, but here we are.
maybe.
Let's
We'll
focus
see.
on the present now, brother. I wanted to say too, our Super Bowl episode last year, one of our top listened episodes of the
Look
year.
at that. There we go.
Because I do think, to be fair, I do think Taylor Swift had a lot to do with that episode. There was a lot of Taylor Swift fervor last year, which I just got to jump right out of the jump. I think honestly, we're gonna look back on those couple of years of Taylor Swift being in the zeitgeist of with the NFL with a lot of longing and be like, oh my gosh, because is it over? Is it basically done? Is she never gonna like is Travis Kelce retiring? Are they getting married now? Like, is she just not like was that such a blip? She was everywhere for a second, and now she's like not gonna be at NFL games anymore. Is this what's happening?
Off into the sunset. So my
That's
guess
wild.
is he has not announced his retirement yet. In the statement that he keeps making is, I need to take some time immediately after the season. I don't want to make a rash decision. Immediately after the season, you have a lot of feelings, a lot of thoughts. The Chiefs were not good this year, so that definitely
Mhm.
he doesn't want that to influence whether or not he comes back for one more year, 2 more years, or whatever it is. But my guess is he'll end up retiring. Um,
It makes
Especially now that
sense.
they're engaged. Yeah, so they'll go off into the sunset, and he'll show up at Chiefs games and bring her, and it won't be every week, but it'll be here and there. Like brother Jason, obviously he played for the Eagles. He's still very heavily involved in all things Philadelphia. He was on there's a famous sports radio program up north in the Philly area called 94 WIP. He was on 94 WIP today, I saw. So I'm sure that Travis will still be heavily involved, which means Taylor will probably still be really involved. So it won't be the same, but she'll
Did
still
you watch
hop in here
did
and
you
there.
watch the episode of New Heights, which is the Kelsey brothers podcast, where Taylor Swift appeared and that was like when she first announced her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. Did you
I
see that
I
live as it
saw
happened, like
I
I did?
saw I saw of course you did. I saw clips. I watched the Instagram clips, and that's it. I kind of move on with my life.
Oh my
I
gosh.
saw, yeah, so I saw the introduction. The big thing on their show, or one of the big things on their show, is Jason, the brother from Philadelphia, always really gives a strong introduction to whoever the guest is on the show. And that's kind of a neat little thing that he does that meets his personality. He's kind of a showman, life of a showman,
Mm, mm.
about all that. And so when he was introducing her, he introduced her from Nashville, and then he kind of bleeped himself out and said, "Nope, you're from Reading, Pennsylvania," and just kind of
I
threw that
know.
back at her
And I
face.
smiled because I didn't even know that. And you had mentioned that there's a song that she talks about an Eagles t-shirt or sweatshirt or something. And I was like, oh, she's actually from Pennsylvania. And that's like
So you're not
cool to
okay.
know.
Hang on. You need to back up because
What?
I might be breaking some news to you. Uh,
What?
you're not aware that she lived like right down the road from our Uncle Pat.
No.
Yes,
Did she really?
and he told me this like many times. He's like, "Oh yeah,
No
like
way.
right down the road. That was, yeah, yep,
That's crazy.
sure
What a
did."
small
I
world.
know.
That was so fun though when she went on that because that started Super Bowl 60 talk because she's infamous, she's notorious for dropping clues and hints and all these things that she says and does. And so like she mentions a couple things about the number 60 and like San Francisco, which is where the Super Bowl is, and like people were convinced that she was going to be playing the halftime show this year, and then they picked Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I
And
think.
now it's like it's too beneath her, I think. I think the halftime show is not
Oh,
big
for
enough of a
sure.
stage for Taylor Swift, is
It's
my
it's not
my thoughts
it's not
now.
that it's too big of a stage. It's just that there's not enough
Too
return
small
on
of a
it, or
stage.
too not too small of
Yeah.
a stage. I don't
Yeah.
think it's that. It's that there's not enough return of investment for her. Like for all
Yeah.
these
What's
other
she gonna get out of it?
artists, no, she's a billionaire. She's fine. But also, I think Swifties have a little too much time on their hands. That's all I'm saying.
Uh-oh, he's coming for you.
I think there's
He's
a little too
coming for
much
you
time.
all.
Oh, there's it's in the numbers. It's in the she wrote the 60, and then the San Francisco, and she
Anyway,
mentioned
the
purple
only
and whatever.
there's a couple of things. We're gonna get to the Super Bowl. I know our listeners they can't wait for us to actually talk the cold hard facts about the Super Bowl. I
Finally,
know
I
you're
can't wait.
excited.
Oh, I
But we're not
can't
there
wait.
yet. We're not there yet. Because the other thing that I wanted to bring up, a couple things, was like after she left, they did another episode. I don't know if it was the very next episode or a couple episodes later, where Travis had gotten a chance to listen to the whole album. It must have been much later because it was whenever the album came out. So much later. And there's a song on the album called Wood. You know this. You know about this, right? You
Why you
must.
want to talk about this?
No, I just wanted to mention it made me chuckle because basically I love Travis, or not Travis. I mean, I love Travis Kelce too, but I love Jason Kelce because he'll just say whatever comes
Yes.
to mind. He's like, so this
Yes.
song, like, how'd you feel about that? Because it's quite obviously about his genitalia. It's very clearly about this
Correct.
this man in her life's genitalia. And he's just like, I love that girl. That was his answer. Like, I just love that girl. What do you want me to
Yeah.
say? So
People heard
so
that and
I
they were
just
like, "Oh, she's doing the halftime show." Gotta be.
So everyone go listen to Wood. It's a very wholesome song. You're gonna love it. Share it with your mother. We
There
should
you
play
go.
it for our mother. She
She
would
would
love
like
that song.
that. She was like, "It's catchy."
Yeah. Um, and then last thing before we get to the other things was, are you aware of Mama Kelce being on my new favorite reality show? Sorry, Survivor. Survivor has been dethroned. I am all in to the Traitors now. Do you know
Traitors.
about this?
Wow.
Do you know about
I
this?
no, I know that this show exists.
Uh-huh.
And the only thing I know about this show is there was a guy named Michael Rappaport who
Uh-huh.
is kind of the worst human being ever.
Yeah.
And nobody
He
thought
loves
he
to
was the
scream.
traitor. Nobody thought he was
Hmm.
the traitor. It's just that everybody was so put off by him that everyone was just like, all right, so let's just vote him out just to
Mm.
not deal with this anymore. And they
Yeah,
did.
I
It's
should
the
say
only thing I know about the show.
spoiler alert. So
Oh,
if you don't want to know
sorry.
anything about the Traitors, skip the next 35 seconds. But yeah, no, I loved, so the Kelsey's mom, Donna, she goes by Mama Kelce. She was put on the show. They always invite like a couple randos. Like it's mostly a bunch of reality TV stars from Survivor, Big Brother, The Bachelor, like other shows like that. And then they always like try to bring in a couple randos. Like, oh, let's bring Donna Kelce, Taylor Swift's soon-to-be mother-in-law. Let's bring her
Sure.
on to the show. And she was so great. She was picked as a secret traitor. There's the main traitors, and then she was a secret traitor, and she wore this red cloak, and she just was like so tickled. I Her big thing, she started crying on the show because her big thing was like, there's still life for old people. Like old people don't just have to die, or I'm paraphrasing her, but they don't just have to ride off in the sun. There's still like fun new things for you, even in your later years. And that was just so inspiring to me. And then I saw Travis and Jason talking about it on their podcast, that they were so proud of their mom, that it looked like she had a blast because she got eliminated fairly early into the season. But
Man, I have
it
no
was
idea
so
what this
cool.
show's about, and what you just said made me more
It's
confused.
so good. It's like Mafia. You've played Mafia before, right?
Well, yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
minute, but yeah.
there's like a few killers or traitors in this case. And so they're killing off the other people, and the other people have to guess who they are by voting out the persons that they think are the traitors. And if they don't, then they're at risk of getting murdered that night. And it's just like beautifully set. It's in Scotland. This eccentric Scottish actor is the host, and he's like won Emmys. He's like a great host. Like, I'm sorry, Survivor. I'll still watch Survivor, but like when I get excited, like this is how I felt about Survivor in the old days. Like, I get so excited after our podcast recording tonight. I'm gonna go watch the next episode of The Traitors because it's out
Man,
tonight. So I will have to survive for the next 40 minutes talking to you, but we'll
I
see
see
how
what you
it
did
how
there.
it goes. So anyway, I think that's our recap on Taylor Swift and the Kelseys. Anything else you'd like to add?
Not a single thing.
They're not in this Super Bowl, but that kind of ties a bow on the last couple of years. We had a
It,
run. We had quite a run.
and the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the
Yes,
real tie
go
that
Eagles.
ties all that together.
But let's go to the other birds now, the Seahawks, which is not. Did you know a Seahawk is not an actual bird? Did you know that?
I just assumed it was.
The Seahawks, it's a nickname for the Osprey. So they could be the Seattle Ospreys, which I think would be really cool. I think the
Wow.
Seattle Ospreys really rolls. But
Someone's done their
this,
homework.
oh, I'm ready. You did your homework and I did my homework, as you can tell. But yeah, it's the Seattle Seahawks against the New England Patriots, who I guess are good again?
They're
Question
back.
mark?
They are back.
Remember when they were in the Super Bowl like every year for like a decade and then they just
hmm
disappeared? Like when was the last time the Patriots were in the Super Bowl? It's been a while. It's
This
been since Tom Brady was on the team, which was a while ago.
this is the first Super Bowl. I want to say I want to say there has been one Super Bowl since I think 2013. I think 2013 was the last time where every single Super Bowl has featured either the Patriots or the Chiefs, with the exception of the Rams and the
Joe
Bengals.
Burrow.
Joe
Yeah.
Burrow. And it has
Yeah.
been Patriots for a run, Chiefs for a run, and now
It's so
all of a sudden,
boring.
yeah, the Patriots are back. So,
That
yeah,
Bengals Rams Super Bowl was so random. Like what? It's Bengals Rams and then yeah, it's usually the Chiefs or now I guess the Patriots are back. So look forward to the Patriots now for the next 7 years probably
yep.
if the patterns continue.
I'll wait till you hear my prediction.
Oh, we'll
We'll
we'll get
get
there.
there.
We'll get there. So we're talking about the Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl 60. That's a big number.
Sure
Super Bowl
is.
60. I polled our studio audience, I polled our yobbers, and they are split, Andy. Six people want the
Oh,
Seahawks, six people want the Patriots. Want
wow.
slash or I don't know if I didn't really phrase it. I just said who you got. So I don't know if they're cheering for. I'm assuming that means they're cheering for them versus like an academic prediction. I'm assuming that's
Mm,
probably more so the case. So our audience is split at least the
wow.
12 people who voted. I'm
Wow.
assuming the other hundred something probably aren't as invested as these 12.
Wait till
But
they
that's a
hear this.
small sample size. So we did get a lot of Yobber feedback. We got some fun questions to ask, some serious questions to ask. But I'm gonna turn it over to you. Maybe we'll split it up. Maybe we'll like do give me one thing to look for in this Super Bowl, and then I'll ask you a couple silly questions, and then we'll go back to the game and give me another big thing to look for. And then we'll kind of just like spread it out. That way we don't lose people. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah,
And
let's do it, man.
I've got my used tissue, which will serve as the penalty flag. If you start getting a little too technical in
I
your
like it.
speak, I'm gonna
I
throw
like
it
it. I
and
like
I'll
it.
say, can you explain what a tight end is again? Because I don't know what
Sure.
that is. Yeah. So
Sure.
go ahead, give us like the main thing we should know. If we were to know one thing about Super Bowl 60, what should we know?
The one thing you need to know about Super Bowl 60, there is one name that you need to learn, and you're going to be hearing. This is the top storyline for this Super Bowl, bar none. It is the story of Seahawks Osprey
Osprey.
quarterback Sam Darnold. Let me give you the history of Mr.
Sam
Sam
Darnold.
Darnold.
Can you do
Sa
it in 30 seconds or less?
Sam Darnold, drafted by the Jets, number 3 overall
Ooh,
in 2018. Sam Darnold was a USC quarterback. He goes to the Jets. For the audience who knows nothing about the NFL, the Jets are a train
horrible.
wreck of an
Mm.
organization. Just awful, awful, awful. Like they just don't know what they're doing, and it's evident year in, year out. Bad hires, bad replacements, bad roster, bad staff. Bang. And so he gets drafted number 3 overall to the Jets. And literally, there's a game where he's playing against the Patriots where he's losing like 55-3 and he's mic'd up on the sidelines and he has a line where he says to one of his teammates, "I'm seeing ghosts out there." And like he was a broken man. Like he
Oh
like
my
did not know
gosh.
what he was doing. He was lost and just the Jets ruined him. And he was of all the quarterback prospects in that year, the one that I was highest on and I was like, "Oh man, he ain't going to make it." And so he's with the Jets for I think a year or two. And then they replace him because they end up getting another high-end draft pick. They replace him with a different quarterback. He's the backup. Then he gets traded to Carolina. He goes to the Panthers. He's a backup there. He's not good. He gets traded out west to San Francisco. He's a backup there. Then he gets the starting gig last year for the Vikings, wins 14 games out of 17, goes 14-3, is competing for the top seed in the league, winds up losing first round in the playoffs, but then goes to the Seattle Osprey, and oh boy, he has been on a heater the last 2 years. The Seahawks are the number 1 team in the league. He is the quarterback for the number one team, number one offense. He has been awesome, and he has totally resurrected his career. And it's been such a joy to see him come back to fruition. And now he is starting quarterback in the Super Bowl for Seattle, totally different franchise. He had to bounce around the entire United States in order to figure it out. But man, he figured it out and he looks great. And
Mm.
yeah, that's going to be the top storyline for this Super Bowl. Quarterback Sam
Nice.
Darnold.
I knew some of that, but I didn't know all of that. It sounds like quite the journey.
Yes,
Wow. So if you're looking for like an underdog, someone to cheer for, the quarterback of the Seahawks Ospreys, I'm going to keep calling them the Ospreys because that's funny to
sure.
me.
I'm getting
Um,
used to it. I'm warming up to the idea.
yeah. So, okay. So Sam Darnold. I don't like his last name. Can we fix that?
Yeah, it's not
Darnold?
Arnold. It's not Arnold. It's not Darnell. It is Darnold.
Darnold. Okay. So we'll look out for Darnold in
That's
this
right.
game. I love that. I also
Yeah.
forgot to say one of our yobbers said this when I asked for comments and feedback. They were like, they're doing another Super Bowl. Didn't they just have one? So yes, yes,
Once a
they did.
year. Once a
They've
year.
done
Yeah.
it 60. Well, they've done it 59 times and about to do it for the 60th time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact, there's been more championships than that. Just 60 years ago, somebody said, hey, it'd be a really
Let's
cool
call it the
marketing
Super Bowl.
technique. Let's call it the Super Bowl,
So it
which
was, that's weird. I don't
just the
get that.
NFL championship before that. But yeah, now it's the Super Bowl era and the pre-Super Bowl era. That's just kind of what they call it.
It's like BC and
Yeah.
AD.
Yeah, just like that.
If the Super Bowl were a sacrament, what would be the elements for the meal? What would serve as the bread and what would serve as the wine?
The
We can play around. Nobody
Oh
listens to
boy.
this show.
Hey.
It's fine. He's coughing. We made him laugh. Everyone at home, think about the answer. What would be the Super Bowl sacrament?
The what's the body and what's the blood? Let's
Yes.
see. I'd say, man, I don't know. The football is one of those two things.
The football?
Yeah, the actual ball.
No, I'm thinking like snack food. I'm thinking like if you're at a Super Bowl party,
I
like
thought you were
what is the
talking about
bread?
like on the game. Like I'm like, I
That's
don't
what
know how
I
to
think.
answer this at all.
No, that's what I think the question is asking. I
Oh,
mean, I don't know. You can, that's how I interpreted it. So
listen,
I was thinking like
go with
breadsticks.
go with bread
People
and
have,
wine. Just go with bread and wine. Let's not mess up
you don't drink,
let's not make this complicated.
I don't think you drink wine at a Super Bowl party, do you?
No,
Is
I
that
mean
a
you drink
thing?
beer, but I mean
Yeah, I mean the answer is probably like pizza
this
and beer.
yeah, your audience seems like more of a wine crowd, if I'm being honest.
What does that mean? We drink beer. I don't, but
I
somebody
don't
does.
either. I don't either. I don't
Oh,
like
you
it.
don't drink beer either. I know beer is
No.
weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, let's move on. This I
That's
can tell you're uncomfortable with this question. Um, okay, what are some good cheers or statements to make, and when to make them during the Super Bowl that don't require too much knowledge about the game? Such
Mm,
as he even gave some examples, such as the whistle blows, "Come on, ref," or the people cheer, "Let's
yeah.
go." Yeah,
There you go. Yeah,
what would
that's
you be some what are some generic things that our audience could cheer at this game?
okay. Whenever you see a quarterback launching the ball downfield, and I mean
Ooh, this is a
like
good one. Good
airing it
example. He's
out.
like winding up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Yep.
what? The ball hits, it goes in the air, and then what do they say?
My my go-to whenever that happens is take a shot. Like he's
Oh,
taking
he's
a
taking a
shot
shot.
downfield.
He's
Yep.
taking a shot. I
And
like
here we
that.
go. All right. It is. So anything like that. But I prefer take a shot. Take a shot downfield. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you could always say, throw a flag, especially whenever
Oh,
whenever you
flag.
see the defender getting up and just immediately, or even the offensive guy, if you see someone on the field who's like just doing this, like just kind of making the generic hand motions, pointing at me, pointing in a different direction. At that point, if you ever see that, just shout, "Oh, that's a flag all day,
All day.
all day." And you don't even have to call out what the flag is. You don't have to say pass interference. You don't have to say holding. I mean, that's getting in the weeds. You can just keep the generic, oh, that's a flag. Or throw the
That's a flag.
flag. Yeah, you
Yeah,
throw
that's
the
always.
flag. That's the penalty
I
flag.
always. You've explained this, I'm sure, on previous things, previous convo casts that we've done. But I will never understand holding because they're constantly all holding each other, and
Yeah,
so every time I'm like, they got too close. They were like little pushy, little grabby. Like I'll just say that's
yeah,
holding, and then it's never
yeah,
holding. Or when
yeah,
I don't think it's holding, then it is. So it's
yeah,
you could just call if you want to be specific
yeah,
about the flag, you could say holding
yeah,
because we'll see a lot of holding calls, I'm sure. All
yep,
right.
for
Let's go to
sure.
your number two story. What's your number
Number
two
two
story for Super
story.
Bowl 60?
We'll call this we'll call this a rematch in a way. I don't know if this is
I'm glad you're bringing
technically
this up. Yeah.
I don't know if this is technically like the number two storyline, but this is a rematch of Super Bowl. Oh, I don't know what the number was, 48 or something like that. It was 2014. The Eagles, or not, excuse me, the Patriots and the Seahawks were playing in 2014. And so at that point, this is two totally different teams playing, uh, you know, this weekend or whenever this airs. Um, so totally different rosters, totally different head coaches. Organizationally, basically the only thing that's consistent is the owner and maybe the general manager, who you're not going to see at all. But this is technically a Super Bowl rematch. Back in 2014, the Patriots bested the Seahawks and the Legion of Boom. That is another term you may want to know. That the
What?
defense for the Seahawks back in 2013-14, they were known as the Legion of Boom, and not Doom, Boom. Basically, they're
Boom.
really, really hard-hitting defense. And to this day, still one of the best defenses I've ever seen. But this Seahawks defense now kind of similar. So you may hear some references to the Legion of Boom in this Super Bowl. But all those years ago, the Patriots wound up winning that one, and so now there's an opportunity for a little bit of maybe revenge, maybe payback, maybe double down. We'll see.
Revenge of the Osprey. Yeah, I
Perhaps
actually do remember that Super Bowl because there was like a controversial play to end the game, I think, where they
sure
should have,
was.
the Seahawks could have just run it into the end zone to win the game. And instead they threw the ball and it
Yep,
was intercepted at the goal line and the game
yep.
was over.
That
So
was
the
it.
Seattle was about to win that Super Bowl.
They were in
And
prime
we have
position
some
to do it.
Seattle. I know we have someone out there listening from Seattle. He remembers this very
I
well.
bet
So
I would
it's
not
revenge
forget that.
12 years later.
Yeah,
Very fun.
yeah,
Yeah. So love me a good little rematch.
yeah.
Seattle and New England,
Yeah.
part two.
Another interesting kind of note, the head coach for the Patriots. I did not mention this in my text to you. Head coach for the
Oh,
Patriots is a man by the name of Mike Vrabel. And Mike Vrabel at one
Vrabel.
time was a defender for the New England Patriots. And so he played on the New England Patriots and won a Super Bowl back in their initial run of Super Bowls, and won a Super Bowl as a player with the New England Patriots. And now he has an
Hmm.
opportunity to be one of the very few people who could win the Super Bowl as both a player and as a head coach
Whoa.
for the same organization. Not bad.
Or the same organization, no less. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm glad you bring up one of the coaches because one of our dear yobbers asked this. Would Andy consider the coaches of these two teams to be daddies, silver foxes, hunks, bears, twinks? What language would you use to describe? Because we're now moving into the physical appearance portion of our show, which we love to do.
sure.
So I don't even know who the coach. Who I didn't look up the coaches. So Mike Vrabel, who's the coach of the Seahawks?
The Seahawks
You
coach
know that
is
guy?
a man named Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald has bounced
So
around
two
here and there.
Mikes,
Two Mikes. Yep.
a
Mike and
Vrabel and
Mike.
a McDonald.
That's right. So Mike McDonald was, I think, initially, I could be wrong, but I believe he began his career at your alma mater.
Bruton Parker,
Yes, no.
University of Georgia.
He
Wow,
began at UGA as I think an
wow.
assistant coach there, and he kind of climbed through the ranks. He was the Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator, did a really good job with the Ravens defense, and then got the gig in Seattle last year. So this is his second year as a head coach. He's done really, really well since going out there. He's kind of a
Describe his
he
appearance.
he's a younger looking guy. He's a father. He has, I think, like a 2 or 3 year old boy. Um, yeah, he just kind of like a typical dad in his mid 30s, early 40s,
Oh, so he's kind of
maybe.
young.
He's pretty young, yeah. And so he just kind of looks like a normal
The other guy must
guy.
be kind of young too if he just won a Super Bowl a few years ago.
No, he won a Super Bowl, I think back in like the early 2000s, like the
Oh,
beginning
oh, okay.
of the Patriots dynasty. So Mike Vrabel is kind of a meathead. I think is probably the best way of kind of is describing him. If you look at him, you'd be like, okay, that guy uh, would probably yell at me in traffic.
Okay. Yeah,
He
yeah, I
looks
got
like
you.
he drives a big truck, but if you hear him talk and you kind of see him, communicating with his players, he also looks like the kind of guy who has a bit, not a lot, but a bit of a soft side to him. So he
Mm.
kind of looking at this appearance of
So
like
he could be daddy. He
a
might be
little,
hunk. He might be bear. He might be
kind of a
daddy. I
combination
don't
of
know.
those things, sure.
Okay.
And I don't
All right.
really know what those things are, but yeah, we'll say a little combination
It's
of
okay.
all of that. Yeah.
Let's move on to the players. Because I was so delighted. It was either last Super Bowl or the one before that. I forget when he came on the scene. But you put this little cutie patootie on my radar. Old Cooper DeJean. Cooper
Cooper
DeJean.
DeJean.
I started following
Coop.
him on Instagram and I see like this is the thing I guess players do now. Is like he started a podcast also with a
Yep.
player.
Yep.
Like, and so
Yep.
they have a podcast, I guess that's pretty popular. And I
Yeah.
was like, I
Exciting
see him pop
mics.
up on my, yeah, exciting Mike's. I see him pop up on my social media every once in a while, and I'm always like, "Aw, Cooper," because I just remember I had never heard of him until you mentioned him during this
Yep.
segment. It was either last year or the year before,
It was last
and
year.
it was it last year. Okay,
It was last
so
year.
Cooper DeJean is now on my radar. So this segment, you could be putting someone else on my radar that I've never known about until this moment. So this was my quick. I'll tell you because I did a little bit of research. I looked at some players. So first of all, the quarterback, we haven't talked about him yet. The quarterback for the Patriots, Drake May. Is that correct? First of
Yes.
all, the name Drake May, it sounds like this kid grew up in like a billionaire's mansion. Like that's what comes to mind when I hear the name Drake May. I'm like, okay, sweater vest, like super clean cut haircut. Like he kind of looks like when I look at him, he's attractive, but he does kind of look like a Lego man. Like he kind of looks like he's very blocky. Like he's almost like too good looking to where it's like too like there's not enough imperfection. Like he just looks blocky like a Lego man. That's my
If
take for Drake.
if you think Drake May looks like a Lego man, I need you to Google what Sam Darnold looks like right now, because he is the
Sam Darnold.
definition of what a Lego guy looks like. He's just got he looks like a block.
A block.
Yeah.
Is it because these kids or these men, I guess they're men, do they like work out their traps too much? Like, do their necks like just get too big or like what's up with that? No, yeah, he is kind of blocky too. So this is like the Super Bowl of blocky headed men.
Yeah. Sure.
He's got a beard, so he's got a little age, a little character to him. Drake May, he's probably like what, 21? He looks 15.
He's very
But
young. He's
he's
very
probably
young.
like 21, 22 maybe, I don't know. Like he doesn't look that old. So that's one name that surfaced as I was looking. Got to cover the quarterbacks.
Yes.
Um I also saw a name. I didn't really look. Sometimes I looked at their names. Sometimes I looked at their faces too. Stefan Diggs is one of like the hottest names I've ever heard. Like I don't even know what he looks like, but Stefan Diggs, is that
Yeah.
a good name to know? Is he going to be in this game prominently?
That is a big name to know. And so,
Stefan Diggs, can you agree with me that that is like such a hot name?
yeah, he
That name.
sounds like an R&B singer. And speaking of singers, he is having a child with Cardi B. So she will be
No,
there. Yep, she will
no
be there.
way. Whoa.
So yeah, he's bounced around a little bit as well. He was on the Vikings for a while. and then he was on the Bills. He was like one of those like really great wide receivers who just couldn't quite get over the hump. This is his first Super Bowl appearance. Yeah, Stephon Diggs, definitely a big name too. Can I go back? Can we go back to Drake May really quick?
Yes, go ahead.
So I want to say this. So Drake May, yes, everything you described about him, spot on. He's got a little bit of an interesting kind of connection to a lot of these things. So he was at Super Bowl 50 10 years ago. That was played, I think, in the same stadium.
Wow.
And he was there with his dad, who I think he grew up a Panthers fan, went to University of North Carolina. Um, One of the really, we'll call this cutesy things about Drake May is you need to look up not just Drake May, but also his wife. His wife is his middle school girlfriend. And so they have been
Aw.
together forever. And so there are little videos that keep popping up on my timeline from time to time. They seem really cute, like really adorable,
Mm.
like they shouldn't be making nine-figure salaries, but they are. But they just kind of have this kind of cutesy, adorable little life. And so I have a little bit of a soft spot for Drake May, just kind of seeing
Mm.
him and his wife, and popping up from time to time, and kind of
Cute.
hear their
That
cutesy
is
story.
cool though. So they were there. He was there for Super Bowl 50 in the
Yeah,
stands, and now he's going to be playing Super Bowl 60 in the same
yeah,
stadium. That is kind of
stadium. Yeah, pretty wild.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then the name, this is the one that speaks to me. Fittingly enough, also named Cooper. There's another Cooper in my life now. Cooper Cup.
Cooper
Cooper
Cup.
Cup.
Cooper
He
Cup.
is very good looking.
Intense.
He's
Yeah.
got like I've seen a timeline of his photos. Like he's got long hair. He's had a beard at the time. I don't know if he has a beard anymore, but I've seen him with a big beard if you're into that vibe, or he's got the long flowing like blonde. He kind of gives me like Scandinavian like
Yeah.
warrior vibe. But I'm gonna be looking for him. Cooper
Let's
Cup.
let's bring this whole thing full circle.
Okay.
Cooper Cup, former Los Angeles Ram,
Oh.
Super Bowl MVP of the Super Bowl against the Bengals.
No
Cooper Cup.
way.
True story.
Okay. So he's got some Super Bowl experience.
Yeah, sure
That's
does.
exciting.
Sure does.
Are there any other players I'm leaving out?
Yeah, one name to be listening for the Seahawks is a man named Jackson Smith Njigba. Jackson Smith Njigba. That is his name.
Wait, can you
Uh,
say it again? Say it. I'm sorry. Say it one more time, slowly for the listeners.
Jackson
Okay, got it.
Smith
That's good. Yep.
Njigba.
In Jigba. Okay.
Yes.
That's so
He
fun.
is a wide receiver for the Seahawks. He is fantastic. I want to say he led the league in receiving this year. Has had a fantastic year. Former Ohio State wide receiver. He's just been lighting
So
things up
throwing
all
the
year
throwing the
long.
flag. What's a
Yep.
wide receiver?
Wide receiver is the gentleman on the field who
The wide part,
catches
like the end.
catches. Yes,
Is he on the end?
yes, he is at
Okay.
the outskirts of the field, either the far left or the
Mm.
far right. Not trying to get political, but basically he's on one of those two spectrums, and
Uh-huh.
he
Uh-huh.
is the one the quarterback throws the ball to, and he catches it.
Okay. So we expect him to catch a lot of balls on this game. What is Cooper Cup? What does he do?
He
What's
is
his
a
go?
wide receiver, and so that is going to be
Again?
on the end. Yes, same
Wait,
thing.
they're both wide receivers?
Yep,
You can have more than one?
you can have a lot.
Oh my gosh, but only one
Yeah,
quarterback.
one quarterback.
Okay. This
Yep,
is going to be a great, now that we're talking about positions, this leads me to a great section, or a great question. This was so great.
let's hear it.
Um, Someone said this, what football position other than coach or the water boy would be best suited for Tom, both on the defensive line and the offensive line? And this was a great post in our Discord server because the words he used were on the defensive line and the offensive line, to which another sporty bro responded and said, Tom should not be on either of those lines. And because the original poster was
Correct.
confused was confused. Like the whole offense is the offensive line, or the whole defense is the defensive line. But no, that's just the
Okay.
big, like
Yeah.
400-pound guys in the middle of the
Right in the
field,
middle. Yeah,
not
you
the
should
one.
not be
So
there.
probably not there. But
Yeah.
like, could you see me? Like, am I a wide receiver? Am I something else? What do you see me as?
I'd say safety. Um, we'll,
Oh,
we'll
what does
go with
that
the
do?
safety. So basically, here's the thing. To play wide receiver, you have to be
I can't sprint.
unbelievably fast. Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's not
and
me.
this is what I know about you. You have to be unbelievably fast. You have to be able to kind of quickly juke
Pivot.
out,
Yeah.
yes, juke out the cornerback who plays opposite of the wide receiver. So think of the wide receiver, everything I just described about the wide receiver. On the defensive side, the opposite of
Mm-hmm.
that is the cornerback. And so the corner,
Corner, not quarter.
corner, correct.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
corner,
Yeah.
he trails the wide receiver. And so the to me, the most athletic position in all of sports is playing corner. I just can't fathom
Because you just have to like
how
juke around and move around so
you
much.
have to be
Yeah.
so on your toes all the
Yeah.
time. You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to be able to read what the receiver's doing, what the quarterback is doing. So there's a lot there. So what the safety does, the safety plays cleanup for the corner. If the cornerback blows a coverage and the
Um,
wide receiver is streaking downfield, the safety is set up already in the back to help clean that up. So he will make a break onto the receiver.
hmm.
And
That's
he
a
already
good
has a head
answer.
start.
I can see myself doing that because I can't juke people. I don't do that. But if I can like, I'm a studious person. You know
Yeah.
me. Like I can survey what I'm seeing. So then if I see something not going right, I can like be like, okay, I need to get over there because he's not covering that
Yeah.
position well.
Yeah.
I get that. I have never known 38 years of life, I have never known what a safety is.
Now you know.
I know a safety is like when they score 2 points. But that's
Correct.
a different safety.
Different
Different
safety.
safeties.
Yeah.
Very fun. Thank you for answering that question. I was very curious to see what your answer would be.
There you
If I
go.
belonged, do I just belong anywhere on a football field? The answer is probably not. But if you had to put me out there, that's where you would put me.
Yeah, but realistically, I'd put you up in the press booth.
Press booth.
I'd make you the
I
GM. I
No,
think
I would
you'd
be
be a
an
good GM.
announcer. I could be a good announcer, I think.
I would love to be an announcer.
We should announce the Super Bowl. Can we do like a live
Let's
stream like
go.
the Mannings
Yeah.
or something? Like
The
let's just
Zuniga
announce
cast.
this. Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. One of these years. One of these years we'll do that. All right. Did you have any other big stories? Was that all of them or did you have another one?
Um, those are the big ones. The rematch. Oh, and just the Patriots being back. Are they back? Are they is this just a brand new era? Because for 20 years it was Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Like that was the dynasty, and that was seemingly every year they were back or they were knocking on the door. They were right there. They were a game or two behind of winning or getting to the Super Bowl or winning the Super Bowl. And so it was 20 years of that, and the whole collective fan base of various NFL teams was just like, it's Tom Brady again, it's Bill Belichick again, it's the Patriots. This is what we do. And so now finally all that's over. It's dead. Tom Brady is retired. He's in the press booth. He's the one who's actually
Mm.
calling these games. And now it's like, all right, is it Mike Vrabel and Drake May now? Like, or have we already pivoted to the next thing already with the Patriots? And so that will certainly be a big storyline. How good are the Patriots really is another really big storyline to follow. And I will get into that when I make my official prediction here shortly.
Oh, the listeners are on their feet.
I believe it.
I think that basically covers everything. There were a couple other things that were mentioned. Someone asked, like, does Andy hold hands with any of his friends during a tense moment of the game? And like my answer, I can answer this one. It's like, I don't think you're going to have a tense moment in this game, but
No,
I could be wrong. I don't think you're that invested in either of these two teams winning. But when the
no.
Eagles are in it, like I've observed this for 2 years now, and I've made eyes with your wife because like she was on the couch and it was like Andy during a tense moment in the game. I mean, it's basically the whole game, but Andy will stand like a foot away from the TV screen. Everyone else is sitting down and like having a lovely time, but Andy is like in peril. Like he's standing a foot away from the TV. His
With my
hands are
hands on
on
my
his
head,
head.
just like
He's
this.
like taking a deep breath. He's staring like daggers into the screen.
Yep.
It's
Or
like
my hands
he
are
is
on my
not
knees. Yep.
he's not holding one of his like male friends' hands. He's not holding his wife's hand.
No,
He's not doing anything affectionate. He's like in another
get away from me.
world.
I don't want anyone. And you know what really gets under my skin? What
What?
really gets under my skin is when case in point, I love my in-laws, and I mean that genuinely. I was at their house for Thanksgiving, and the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday, the Eagles were playing the Chicago Bears, and I told them, I said, only I ask one thing. I just want to watch the Eagles game on Black Friday. And they said, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. We'll do that. We'll watch it with you. Great. I have no issue with that. The Eagles laid an absolute egg. They were awful. The offense didn't show up. And I'm
Mm.
just sitting there annoyed and disappointed in my team. And I don't want to talk about it. Uh, and the number of people who in my wife's family came up and was just like, man, I'm sorry. And I'm like, don't say that to me. I don't want your sorry. I don't want you to tell me it's going to be okay. I don't want a word. I just want to sulk
That's
for a little
why.
bit,
That's
and then
why.
I want to move on.
That's why when the Eagles, when it was slipping out of their fingers 2 years ago, I was like
Uh-huh.
looking at Sarah and she was like, she just looked very concerned because you were not
Yeah.
doing well. Like, I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, like we're going to have to comfort Andy. But then I'm like, no, I don't think he wants comfort. I think
No,
he
I
just
don't.
wants to spiral and feel the feels and
I need to
get
feel it
away from
all.
us.
I need to think it all. I need to sort it out, and then I need to deal with it. And
You
and
know, do you ever think about how you react to the Eagles? Does this play out in your day-to-day life? Like when you are experiencing stress, when you're experiencing disconnect with other people, when you're experiencing problems with your work or whatever calamities you face in life, like is this how just in general you operate? You need to be by yourself and feel your feels and sulk and experience that before you can receive the love that your family wants to give you?
In some ways, yes. In other ways, no. So here's how I'll separate these things, right? And I think this is important because I don't want to come across as someone who's just like totally disconnected and just clearly needs to go to therapy, right?
Right,
But
right.
but I think what I can do, and I think the reason I just need to deal with it and I don't want to talk about it is because at the end of the day, I know it's a game. And I know that it doesn't matter. And I know I need to get over it, but I'm still going to celebrate the highest of highs and I'm still going to mourn the lowest of lows. But when it comes to things that truly do matter, right? So like let's flip the switch. Now we're talking about like, hey, you know, bad news from family member. Hey, my daughter's sick. Hey, at a bad day at work. In those instances, I do want to talk about it. And I do want to get sentimental and I do want to look you in the eye and I do want to have those conversations. But I am able to separate. Here's what I've always been able to say. I can handle the really big things, the things that matter, cancer, the sky is falling, awfulness. Those are the things I can handle really well. The things I handle really poorly are things like, why is my computer mouse moving slower than it should be? That's when I flip out. And that's
Oh
when I
man.
start feeling like
I
I'm
was
gonna
gonna
throw it. I'm
say,
gonna throw it.
in general, you're a pretty strong rock in our family, I would honestly say, but
Yeah.
not when it comes to the Eagles losing football games.
It's because I
You
expect
fall
better.
apart. You
I
fall
fall apart.
apart.
My expectations are sky high every year, and so
Uh,
rarely have they achieved those heights. Um,
mhm.
Twice in my lifetime, they've achieved those heights.
I was gonna say you've
Um,
at least seen two Super Bowls. I've only seen the Phillies win once, so you're ahead of me in the sports department.
yeah,
But no, I appreciate your vulnerability. Look at that. We're getting so real and honest about
yeah,
emotions here at the end of our episode. But Andy, let's land the plane. Let us land this plane.
let's land it.
So, what is your prediction for Super Bowl 60? Again, you're 3-1. So let's see if you can go 4-1. What
Let's
do you think?
keep the train rolling. All right. I am flying high with the
Uh-oh.
Osprey. I'm flying high
I
with
think so
Seattle.
too. I think Seattle's
Uh,
winning also.
I think Seattle. I think here's what I truly believe. You ready for this? I truly
Mm.
believe that the Super Bowl was played last week when the
Oh,
Rams
like
and
it
the
was going to be one of those
Seahawks
teams.
when the Rams and the Seahawks played last week, to me, that was the Super Bowl. I was taking either one of those teams over either one of the AFC teams. So it was between the Patriots and the Broncos. And the Patriots wound up winning that game, and so now they're representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. So to me, Seattle has been consistently for the last, I'd say, 10 to 12 weeks, easily the best team in the league. I think their defense is outstanding. I think their receiving group is one of the best. I think that um, Sam Darnold plays very complementary football to the rest of his offense. I think he handles that moment really well. Um, I think what I like about New England, I really like their quarterback and I really like their head coach. And for me, and you look at the NFL and there's a lot of dysfunctional franchises, organizations, and so looking at New England for the last 5 years when Tom Brady left and Bill Belichick left, and all of a sudden the Patriots were in this nosedive where it's just like, okay, they're terrible again. And again, all of the NFL celebrated because finally the Patriots are bad. Well, it's incredible what you can do in the NFL and the National Football League when you get those two guys correct. When you get the quarterback right and you get the head coach right, a guy who can command the offense and a guy who can call the offense. You get those two guys right, man, things get fixed really quickly. This is Drake May's second year in the league. This is Mike Vrabel's first year as a head coach at New England. They nailed it, but I think they're too early. I
It's
think in
just not
coming
good
years,
enough.
I think they're not good enough yet. I think in the coming years, they get a few more free agents in there. I think they have a really good shot to do a lot of great things.
Oh my
But
gosh.
for this year,
I just remind we were out of time. We're out of time, but like I just felt so sad for Josh Allen, another one of my favorites. He was
hmm
crying at a press conference. He's the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. He kind of just
yeah,
has like puppy dog energy. I remember we talked about him last year because
yeah, he's awesome.
he's kind of a goofball, but he's very
Yeah,
sincere, very emotional.
married to
And
Haley Steinfeld.
oh, Jerry Steinfeld's daughter.
No,
Yeah, no,
she's an
I felt
actress.
so bad. I felt so bad for Josh Allen next year.
Yeah,
It's
next
always
year,
next year for Josh Allen.
next
But
year.
okay, but you're picking the
20,
Seahawks. What's
give
the
me
score?
27-14 Seattle.
Okay, so fairly convincing. Maybe not a blowout, but fairly
Yeah,
convincing.
close enough. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'd say convincing win for Seattle,
I think
27-14.
it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be because I didn't watch the whole playoffs, but I watched the last couple games, and so I think it's gonna be 22-18.
Oh, man.
I don't know how they're gonna get those numbers, but we're gonna see.
Very weird numbers you picked.
I always like picking weird numbers. Whenever I
I
ask our
love it.
mother for a prediction, she always does sevens. She just picks seven.
Yeah,
So she'll just say like 21-14 because she
there you
knows
go.
touchdowns are basically
Right,
seven.
right.
I'm sure that's Mirka's prediction.
That's mom.
21-14.
That's mom.
All right, Andy. Well, we'll see what happens. This is always such a delight, such a fun episode. Thank you for coming on.
I have one more stat for you, and then we can
Oh my
go.
gosh. Don't make me
Are you
throw this flag.
are you ready?
Get ready. Yep.
The You mentioned the Phillies' previous
Oh, Phillies.
championship World Series championship.
Uh-huh.
It is now as old as the 1980 World Series
Don't tell me
championship
that.
was when they won it in 2008. Ooh, ooh.
That is not true.
Is
That's
that those
28 years.
those numbers don't math?
That's 28 years, and it's only been 18 years. You were off by a whole decade. I've got a whole decade to have. I'm going to throw a flag on incorrect
I almost
math.
got you though.
Incorrect math. Yeah. Anyway, the Phillies they're getting there. They're actually not. They're getting further away, but I believe. I believe.
We'll
I
see.
believe. All right. Well, I hope everyone out there have a lovely Super Bowl Sunday. Go cheer some things. Go eat and drink your sacraments and enjoy what's
Enjoy your
going to
bread
be
and
a
wine.
great enjoy. Yeah, and it's going to be a great game. I can't wait.
Yeah.
First time I'm not visiting you because I visited you the last couple of years to watch the game because the Eagles were in it. So I'm going to be with I'm going to be with my youth group this year. Probably not
Nice.
even watching most of the game. We're going to be playing games. I don't know what we're doing. I've never done this, but they always have a Super Bowl party at the church every year. So I'll be with my youth group watching the game, and we'll see how it goes.
Great.
So stay tuned. All right, Andy. Well, I'll bring you on in the next year to talk about something great other than football. But thank you
Let's
for
do it.
humoring
I'm ready.
us.
I'm always ready. I'm always ready for this show. I love you guys. I love your audience. I love what you guys are doing here. I love the work. So keep it up. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Love my brother and my other brothers.
We love you too. Thanks for being such a great supporter. All right, y'all. Until we cast our next combo, fly, Ospreys fly.
On the road to victory.
Your other family.